Hello collective, welcome to the channel. It is April 29th and the time is about 14 minutes before 5 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. Let's tap in and see what message Spirit would like to share with you. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. Collective energy, please, Spirit. All right, in the central energy, well, we've got the Tower in the reverse. Something's collapsing. Somebody's suffering a disaster. Suffering, it's collapsing, personal transformation, somebody's life is being turned upside down. In the challenge position, Seven of Wands. They're challenged because you stood up for yourself. You're not backing down. You're protected. In the subconscious, they could be being laid to rest, wondering about the future, thinking about you relaxing and recovering, or retreating. In the recent past, well, this came out and it came out in the reverse. They're living in the past. They may want forgiveness. You may be leaving home. Maybe they have to leave home. They have to go do something alone. Intentions and expectations. Four of Wands. It could be that you're moving on into a new adventure, completely disassociated from the past. Absolute new world and experience. In the near future, Eight of Cups. Somebody is in disappointment. They're getting left behind. They got left behind. They're going to be left behind since this is in the near future. You're moving forward. You're leaving home. This is completely new. It doesn't have anything to do with the past. You're letting that all go. Moving into a new community, domestic happiness, where supposedly, that would be something that would be honored. Tensions are high. Yeah, and somebody's feeling abandoned, or they're going to be abandoned. They're getting left behind. Disappointed. Yeah. The lens that's being looked through is the Chariot in the reverse. They're arrogant and aggressive right now. They lack direction. They're careless. They're not moving forward. Getting left behind. because you're standing up for yourself. You maintained control over what? Your life. You're still in your body. You're still you. In the environment. Knight of Wands. So you may want to look out for this fellow or feminine. Take it as it resonates. It's a Knight of Wands. So somebody may be coming in trying to be sexy and passionate, charming. Hopes and fears. The Hierophant. Impulsiveness. So they're afraid of this Hierophant. They could be having a fear of this new level that seems to be going on right now. The Hierophant. There's some, probably, well, let's get the last card. What's the outgoing energy, Spirit? Oh. Death. It's the end of a cycle. It's over. Ten of Swords, painful ending for somebody. They are in a Five of Pentacles energy. Because you stood up for yourself, Seven of Wands, and you are moving forward, leaving home with your freedom and a new domestic connection. All right, so somebody wants to avoid a tower. They got a fear of change. They want to delay this, but they're suffering some kind of a collapse. Everything's collapsing. It's a real stormy time. They're in disagreement. They think that you should understand how they feel, even though they put you in this kind of energy where you had to protect yourself, you had to protect your life. They now think you ought to care about how they feel. Offer them something that they never gave you. You're protected in this challenge. You've got protection. You're standing up for yourself, and you're persevering. You're persevering. Yeah, and these ones, they're challenged because, see, they're unsatisfied with the way things are going. They made mistakes. That's their challenge. You're standing up for yourself. You're protected, and they're not happy. They were unsatisfied with life, so what? They decided to make war with you, and that was a mistake. We've got the Four of Swords here. It could be that they're being laid to rest, or that you are retreating. Maybe they want to retreat. Maybe they need to recover. Maybe they're thinking about look, guilty. So they could be getting laid to rest, you know. Feeling the pain from the damages that they have caused. They're thinking about it. So, yeah, Six of Cups in the reverse. You're leaving the past behind. You're not going back to the way that it was. You're moving forward, leaving home. The messages from the evening were, this is your last, what do they call it? A lifetime story. This is your last story on Earth. Graduating to 5D. Moving forward, leaving the past behind. You're not returning to any memories. This is a brand new thing. Hope. You never gave up hope for love, for loving connections and unions. And the expectation is that it will be here. You were fighting for life, fighting for love, fighting for the opportunity to be reunited with others who want love and, you know, integrity and morality and harmony in their world. You got freedom in marriage. So there's like a gathering of like-minded souls. Commitment. Somebody is in an Eight of Cups. Their disappointment, they're feeling abandoned. The past needs to be put where it belongs. The past needs to be put where it belongs. You're leaving it behind. You're not taking it with you. This is a whole new experience. You're letting go of everything that was moving against you. They're leaving it behind. Yeah, the passion project. Those who were trying to F their way to the top or whatever. Yeah, passion project. They're disappointed. They're getting left behind. You're leaving them behind. They want to escape. They're withdrawing. Their chariot is in the reverse. So they're not going anywhere. Of course, they want to switch positions with you. But we've got time in the reverse. Now this card reads, I'm afraid it's too late to take action, but it's in the reverse. There's no more time. It's not only that it's too late to take action, it's like it's over, it's done, it's finito. The outgoing energy is death. It's over. No more time. Chariot is not going anywhere. The Knight of Wands is here. Somebody might be trying to come in and get passionate or sexy. You know, third party. Yeah. So in the environment, you've got these knights or whatever rushing around trying to tap in or tag somebody. They want to go tag somebody. They want to go hop aboard somebody's freaking destined path. Step into their chariot. And it requires a relationship. And a relationship is intimate encounters. You got the Hierophant here, which could be the Most High, or whoever it is that is in control of this, of society and its rules, and this freaking values. It's all about high values. But it looks like he's here bringing death, is what it looks like. He's bringing an ending here. So these ones are afraid of the Hierophant. The Hierophant could be the Most High here, delivering justice and judgment and justice for responsible family units. He's seeing it through. He's like, this is where we're going, and this whole thing with the third party business is over. We're moving into responsible. See, in the environment, you got these folks coming forward like, oh, let me plug in. And the Hierophants here, like, you know, they're afraid because the Hierophants here, look, this new chapter is all about this, not what you got going on, because what you got going on is over. It's like, oh man, and time is in the reverse. There's absolutely, it's not just that there's too late to take any action. It's like, there's, even if they, whatever they do, it's going to fail. Yeah, there's death, and they're overwhelmed and stressed by this. This is the end of a cycle. People are freaking out. They don't know what to do. They're confused. They're like, wait, we're not done yet. But they were lying. They're just liars. They're dishonest folks. They could have been lying, trying to keep you two from coming together. Your soul tie. They were lying about your soul tie, pretending to be you so that they could tap into this reunion. They're confused. They're confused because you are in this soul tie. Well, you got the commitment there with the Four of Wands. You never gave up hope for it. It's here. So you got habitual patterns that they'll never change. And you were able to fix the connection here with the divine, with your, whoever it is that you're here in a commitment with. And these ones, man, they're getting detached. People are talking about it. They missed their opportunity. This is a new chapter. And these ones are being held back because they failed to give you what you needed. They were not responsible with you. Their values were all about money. That's all they ever thought about. So that's not, and they're broken and shattered about this because you are seen. The way that you love cannot be replaced. You are irreplaceable, and this new chapter is all about divine sacred union. You know, where it's like top of the freaking list of important things. You know, is the health and the wealth of the family, and what that looks like to the family. Yeah. Ending. I didn't shuffle them yet, but yeah. And it's wild because they're pushing out these thoughts. They want you to reject this so bad, but you never gave up hope. It's like this is all you've been hoping for your whole life, most likely. Loyalty, faith, responsibility, you know, someone to be with that would help you carry the freaking load. You know, a lot of us had circumstances in our life where having somebody in our life just increased our burden and stole from our peace of mind and our energy. It was designed that way by the previous third party, whatever. So they're in a collapse. This is a very stormy time. They're in fear of change, Tower reverse. They don't want this happening. They could just be suffering. They're wishing that you understood how they feel. They're in disagreement for this. They think that, you know, you should give them what you have, you know, you should take care of them. But they're neglectful. They neglected you. You saw that card in the past. They took everything from you and then they neglected you. So now they're in disagreement. They weren't paying attention to what's important. You know, you, in this challenge, you stood up for yourself. You persevered through a traumatic experience. You're protected. And they made a lot of mistakes. They were not happy with the way things were going. They're not happy with the way things are now. They made mistakes. And they're challenged also because they can't free themselves from this tangled mess that they got themselves involved in. We've got the Four of Swords here. So it looks to me like they're wanting to retreat. They're contemplating. They might be meditating. They might be, I don't know. This says recovering. They may have to recover from something. They're guilty. They've been found guilty. Something might have happened. They could be getting laid to rest. Maybe they need to rest. Maybe they're wondering about the future. This also says solitude. They could be alone. We've got adrift in the reverse. So this says not willing to settle down or be responsible. It's time to commit and put down roots. They're not going to have any commitments. They've been found guilty. They weren't willing to settle down or be responsible. And this says time to commit and put down roots, but they're not going to be given that opportunity now. Like they're stuck with their choices. They can't move away from it. There's no moving away from it. This is like blowing in the wind. You're free to go, but it's in the reverse. Like they cannot get out of this. They've been found guilty. But you are moving forward, leaving home. You haven't given up on this union. You've got your Four of Wands there with the commitment card. Look, distant, far away. You're going far, far away. You're leaving home. You're going far, far away. You're going to the fifth dimension, wherever that is. I don't know what that would look like. If it would look like a different dimension, like maybe you're actually physically going to relocate, or maybe it's just May 29th. Well, I got into a car accident many years ago, and it was like the timeline had been adjusted so that I could still be here or whatever. So it's like, timeline shifting and all of that. It's like it happens like that. And I don't know, maybe that's what's going to happen. Jim Self of Mastering Alchemy calls it timeline trifurcation. He says it's like a three cord rope, right? Braided rope, and that there's at a time all three of those cords are going to come apart and then kind of go their own way. But last night the message was the fifth dimension, so I don't know how that's going to look out. So you got the Four of Wands here. You're in this. The community is celebrating. There's celebrations, harmony, engagements, freedom, marriage, a commitment. You're very committed to each other. And then we've got alone. And this says you feel like you are in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. Like perhaps you're waiting for the moment where you'll be shifted into the fifth dimension and be united with your new family. You might be sitting around in your house all by yourself thinking this is just a dream, right? The Eight of Cups in the near future. Somebody's disappointed or they're getting left behind. This passion project, this chemistry passion thing needs, where they were ignoring the people's needs. It was all about passion. And not about needs, like nobody to help you, nobody to partner with you, nobody to have any care regarding whether you were supported like this. They just come up and wham bam thank you ma'am, and then leave you there in the dark all by yourself when it was supposed to be this, and this is where we're going. So this is getting left behind. They're disappointed. You're leaving it behind. You're going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love you and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love. Now, I had to sing that because it just came to mind, so there you go. we got their chariot is in the reverse. They're not going anywhere. They don't have any control over this. They might be getting aggressive. And because there's absolutely no more time. No matter what they do, they can't do anything. It's like maybe you've already left time. Maybe like they can't do anything. They can't go anywhere. They're like, you have left time, or you're about to. You're going to exit the matrix, and they're drowning. They're going under without you. It's like you have exited time. They can't control it. But you've got a Knight of Wands here, third party enemy coming forward wanting to get, he or she's guilty, and they want to come forward and get all sexy with you. They're reaching out for you to try to connect, but they're not able to. The Hierophant is here regarding responsible family units who wish to manage the financials and the emotional needs of the children in a proper way, and each other, supporting each other in the presence of the child, so that the child is raised knowing what this beautiful supportive union is all about. The Most High is here, protecting that. Hard. The diamonds, man, they have went through some very, very difficult challenges, and they have come out like diamonds. So these diamonds are the new mothers and fathers of the new human in this fifth dimension. There's death here, an end of a cycle, and somebody is overwhelmed and stressed out about it because they've lost. They've lost. And they're feeling like they've been abandoned. They can no longer siphon off of you these self-replicating batteries that they, get relationship with. They're stuck in a crazy drama rabbit hole right now because you're leaving. And they're grieving because it didn't work out the way that they thought it would. They lied about this snake. Look, childish, dark side games. They're crushed about about this ending. They were just playing games with love. And they have to face it. Love was just an emotional escape for them. They didn't keep any of their promises. And now they're in the environment. This Knight of Wands energy is here, passionate and sexy third-party energy, reaching out for you, but they're not able to. Yeah, so they can't. They're struggling. They're struggling right now, and they want forgiveness. They've been found guilty. Yeah. Wow, I guess maybe we can start to let our minds relax. Or maybe it's just me. It's so challenging, after all this. You get in the reject mode because you know that this stuff is out here stalking and plotting and planning, and it's horrid. So things are collapsing for them. They're going through stormy times. They wish you understood how they felt. They weren't paying attention to what was important. They might be trying to come forward to say that. They were neglectful. Courage in the reverse, so they don't have any courage. You're in the Seven of Wands here. They're challenged because you're protected, and you're maintaining control of your boundaries here. You're successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. They weren't happy with the way things were going, and they made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. They're unable to free themselves from this web of lies, this sticky situation that they got themselves all wrapped up in, trying to hurt you, trying to frame you, mind. Their mind could be all tangled up right now. You might be able to relate with that circumstance. So it looks like, you know, they're either thinking about you and your future, or they're being laid to rest. They don't have any energy. This looks to me like they're being laid to rest. They've been found guilty. They're there on that bed. That looks like somebody's just laying there and they're like, you know, getting ready to pass over or something. Feeling pain from the damage they've caused. And they have no roots. They won't be able to put down any roots. They can't get out of this guilt here. They're in regret. They can't escape this guilt. Service. They can't escape this guilt. They have to go be of service now. Like they have to go work. They have to go serve people. You're moving forward. You're leaving home. You never gave up hope for your faithful and loyal union. And you're going far away. You might be distant from each other at this time. Or maybe you're just going far away. Maybe you're going to the fifth dimension. We've got surrender. Release the need to control it. So there's nothing you can do to control this. It's like, and you can't. It's all in divine timing, right? The Hierophant is here pulling out responsible diamonds, responsible shining ones. It's like the harvest or whatever, you know? Those who not only have their inner light on, but who are hard as diamonds, you know, sharp, beautiful, faceted, many. You look at each one of these cuts and it's going to reflect the light in a different way. You're magnificent. And it's interesting that it would be a faceted cut that allows the light to reflect within you and come off of you in so many different ways. Like, you're unbreakable. That's what is that? The diamond is the hardest, the most tough gemstone on the planet, so they say. They cut cement with diamond blades and other things. So, Four of Wands, you could be engaged. There might be a reunion with somebody, a community, freedom and marriage, commitment. I want you to be a part of my future. And you feel like you're in this all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. And this is over. The endings are merely new beginnings. It could be that whoever left you alone is experiencing a death. It could be that whoever, somebody may be, definitely, this is over. Somebody needs to surrender their need to control. Somebody could be at a distance from you and they're surrendering their need to control. Maybe it is them that is experiencing this death. Or maybe that just means that this is over and you're moving into the fifth dimension. Somebody wants forgiveness here, though. They're in an Eight of Cups energy, disappointment. They're getting left behind. These who were all about passion, this passion project. You know, they ignored the needs of those they laid with. They were not serious. They were not responsible. And they're in doubt. They're having doubt now about their needs. The Chariot is in the reverse. They're not able to go forward. And it's like you've exited time, or they are exiting time. Somebody's exiting time and they're drowning. They're going under. I don't even know what's that. Look, we've got Success in the reverse. So they're drowning. They're going under. They don't have any love in them. They're not winning. They have to accept the things they cannot change. Knight of Wands is in the environment, wanting to come forward and get sexy and passionate with somebody. This is a third-party enemy. They're reaching out, trying to connect. Or maybe they're not able to reach you. They're not able to reach out. No more reaching out for sexy, passionate third-party enemies. They're not able to do that because this is a time for peace. This is a time for peace. You are a being of love and you're releasing all the negative energy. This and negative energy, this passion project that ignored the needs of their lovers is getting it's over. They can't reach you anymore. It could be that they're going far, far away. Like there could be this, I don't know. Take it as it resonates. The Most High is here regarding responsible diamonds. Those who want a family, those who want to be loyal to their family, to take care of their family, to be in purpose. To raise the next human being who is going to just really, you know, get it done with love. This is over. The Death card again. Endings and beginnings. The end of a cycle. So alone, you feel like you're alone in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. That is over. The days of you be feeling alone or being alone are over. And again, we've got the Death here. End of a cycle. Somebody's overwhelmed because they lost. They lost you. They feel like as though they've been abandoned. Probably like you felt for centuries. Patience. Everything happens in divine order. They've lost. The Hierophant is here. The Most High is here saying the game is over. We got balance. So it's like the harvest, the divine is here, you know, and it's like these ones wanted to harvest the merchandise that belonged to the earth angels, but the divine stepped in and said, not this time. Not this time. So you got balance and you've got honest. This is honest balance. You're not feeding some black hole. You are responsible with each other and your household. You manage your internal, your emotional needs. You manage your finances in a good way. You keep the love alive in your family. You're very supportive of each other. Honest, balanced. This is the change. Empathy. Open to seeing both sides of a situation. Willing to care how another feels. And then to work with that, to understand each other. That's a change. We're moving into a new movement where everybody's, you know, mental health, emotional health, and all of that, their needs, it's like, it means something. It's important. And there were prideful people that were trying to blame you for their bad behavior. They're going to be suffering loneliness, or they're going to be alone, because love has persevered through a tremendous amount of envy and attempt to destroy you. But you've grown in consciousness and awareness. You know more now than you did before. And you have learned how to focus on the lighter side of life, even when you are extremely challenged. So, good. Yay. So somebody's going through a stormy time. Whatever they had built is collapsing. They're disagreeing. They wish that you understood how they feel. It could be they weren't paying attention to what was important when it came to neglecting you. They don't have any courage here. They don't have any inner strength. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to face it. They might be having some mental issues, or there might be a frequency moving through their mind that they are unable to deal with, that it could be frightening. Nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. You're in a Seven of Wands energy. You stood up for yourself in this competition challenge. You're protected here, maintaining control, you're holding your own, standing up for yourself. They were challenged because they were unsatisfied with the way things were. They made a lot of mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. They're tangled up and unable to free themselves from this sticky situation of the mind. Yeah, they're having some issues going on in the mind. Or maybe it was all a fantasy. But it looks to me like they got some stuff going on in their mind. They're in a nightmare. They want to compromise. Third parties want to reconcile, have a reconsideration, but they're not permitted to reach out to you because this is now a time of peace. You're releasing the negative energy. We've got they're being laid to rest. They've been found guilty. They're feeling pain from the damage they've caused. They're not going to be able to put down roots. They have to be of service. They can't get out of this guilty verdict. They got to go be of service. They have to get a job. No more indulgence on other people's suffering. They got to go be of service. So they got to go be of service. They got to get a job. You're moving forward. You're leaving home. You never gave up hope for your beautiful family and union. You might be going at a distance, or maybe you're distant from each other. You're surrendering to this. You're surrendering to this. It's a change. You're surrendering to it. You know you can't control it. Somebody is suffering a loss. It could be somebody is surrendering, somebody far away, whoever this is that's being left behind, this passion project person. Like this could be you, you're leaving, and somebody far away from you needs to release the need to control. They're feeling the loss from the damages that they've done, or maybe they're suffering damages. And we've got the Four of Wands here, freedom and marriage for a commitment. Somebody wants you to be part of their future. And the days of you feeling as though you are alone are over with the Death card here, and there's nothing to be afraid of. No more fright. They can't do anything to you anymore. They're far away from you. They're surrendering their need to control, and they're suffering their own losses now. They're not going to be able to mess with you. It could be that they're experiencing this being laid to rest thing with the Death card and the Eight of Cups here. Disappointment, getting left behind. So they were just all about the passion project, you know, sleeping with whoever, different flavor of the week or whatever, and then ignoring the emotional needs, you know, leaving them alone and sad and stuff. And now they're having doubt. They lost the gift. They weren't able to get the gift. Chariot in the reverse. They could be aggressive. They don't have any control. You have exited time, or you're going to. They're drowning, going under. They weren't successful. They don't have any love in them. They have to accept the things that they cannot change. And we've got profession. which is omniscience. This says omniscience. They have to accept the things that they cannot change. You're an expert. You're multi-talented. You can do whatever it is you set your mind to. In the environment, we've got the Knight of Wands, somebody sexy and passionate third party reaching out for you. They cannot reach out for you anymore. That's done. You're releasing the negative energy. You're a being of love, and you're releasing the negative energy. You are at peace. And then we've got you've reached your goals, or whoever this third party is, their destination. This says destination right here is confinement. So these third party passion project people who ignored the needs and the their intimate connections. So their destination is jail. Their destination is jail. The Most High God is here regarding responsible people who take care of their financial needs and their emotional needs. They're shining like a diamond. They're multifaceted. They could have been shattered and brought back together, put themselves back together many times, like that beautiful Japanese cup, when it breaks, they put it back together with gold. It's like that's what you are. And you've got all these multifaceted, the light is coming off of you in so many different ways. And you've got all these beautiful skills now from surviving this kind of stuff, and you're in your purpose here. You know what you're here to do. The Hierophant knows what you're here to do. And memories. So you're in your purpose. This at the bottom here, it says reunion. It could be that you're remembering what it is you're here to do. So purpose, I know what I'm here to do. You're remembering. You're remembering what it is you're here to do. This is death here, the end of a cycle. Somebody is overwhelmed. The stress is draining them. They lost. They lost because you are patient and you know that everything happens in divine order. You love yourself. You create beauty and peace wherever you go because it's in you. This is what's in you. This energy that is in you is, I love myself. I see beauty wherever I go. Look at that beautiful flower. And then in all these beautiful thoughts and this beautiful energy that comes with it, and manifest it outside of yourself. So everywhere you go, your care shows. And you're going to be rewarded with a beautiful family, a beautiful partnership. Third wheel enemies are in danger. They need to use caution because they were cursing your sweet dreams, these sweethearts' sweet dreams. They need to use caution because they were cursing the sweetheart's sweet dreams and future family. Yeah, they're in trouble, man. Mask wear, overload. Oh, man. Mask wear, overloaded, overwhelmed. Man, blind, rejected because they were tempted to move against you. You're so sweetheart. Look at this. You're a calm blessing. You're a blessing, and you've got alliances that see you as honest and trustworthy. Yeah, these people... they're getting separated, and because they were trying to fight with you over your marriage. So there's separation here. The network that had been moving against you is being stopped. Or it could be that your new network is stopping them. You persevered through being bullied, harassed, gossiped about. It was all a lie. And you're moving into your family. You're going to have a family, a big halo. Look at that big halo. And look at that, fruits, the fruits of your labor. This says gain. It also says conclusion. You're going to have your family here. The family that you were praying for. The family that you were praying for. While you were undergoing natural disasters, trying to survive, you earned a lot of merit. You're a good moral human, and it's time. It's time. Like you're moving out of time. You're leaving time. Somebody wants to apologize for dominating you. They fell into a trap. That's good news. The good news is if you've got a miracle here, the Most High Divine reached down a hand and pulled you up out of this mess. And you're just at peace now. Gave you peace. Because, there's evidence. You're moving into eternal love. And there's evidence of the disturbance that was put upon you. That you had to live through and survive through. Wow. Fatalism, robbery of the blind, the prideful. They really wanted to take you out. They wanted to stop your business, your collaboration, your influence in the world. They did not want you out here talking to the people, sharing life with the people, teaching the people what it is from all of this that you had to go through in order to become this beautiful multifaceted being who is also multidimensional. Justice is going to be served. You're getting your promise. There is a promise that justice will be served, and these people are furious because you triumphed over that, and they're getting cast away. That's the way it is. And we'll pull one of these little cards. We're at 52 minutes, but let's see if we can motor through this real quick. All right. Oh, we got wedding. There's a wedding here. The wedding has happened. You got the Four of Wands and a commitment. Yeah, the days of you being alone are over. There's no more reason to fear. Maybe because you're not afraid. You're not afraid of this ending here. Tower in the reverse. Everything for somebody is collapsing. They're going through a real stormy time. They wish that you understood how they feel. They were not paying attention to what was important when they decided to neglect you. They have no courage. They're in a nightmare. It was all about the money. Look, so they're not innocent. They're not innocent. They wanted your money, and now they don't have any courage. They're in a nightmare. They weren't innocent. They're not innocent. You're protected. And they're not satisfied with the way things went. They made some mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. They're unable to free themselves from a sticky situation of the mind. They want to compromise with your lover. Or maybe they want to compromise with a different lover. Who knows? Take it as it resonates. They're all tangled up in the mind. I think they want to compromise. Yeah, they got some fighting going on there. There's a Four of Swords energy here. Laid to rest. They've been found guilty, suffering the pain. They can't get out of this guilty verdict. This is the end of their indulgent lifestyle. They got to go be of service. They got to go get a job. People are talking about it. You're moving forward. You're leaving home. You never gave up hope for your faithful and loyal union, marriage, wedding, partnership, love. Somebody that is far away from you, or those who have been bothering you are going to be going far away, or you're going far away, and you're going to be kindling the passion. Somebody has to surrender their need to control this. They're experiencing losses. A widower, experiencing losses. So people are crossing over. Somebody's crossing over. Four of Wands, freedom, marriage, commitment. Somebody wants you to be part of their future. You've been alone, and this is the end of that with the Death card. So this is the end of you feeling like you're alone, and this is the end of anybody trying to bring you fright. Or look, wife. It's the end of you being alone. It's the end of people trying to mess with your head and your life. You're leaving them behind. These people who are just all about, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get on down the road, and then leaving you in the dark, heartbroken, with nobody to hold hands with or support you in your time of need. They're having doubt. They didn't get the gift. They aren't the gift. It could be a friend. There may be a friend here. Maybe now they want to be friends. They need a friend. They might have been a friend. Somebody may be getting aggressive because the Chariot's in the reverse. They don't have any control of this, and they have a lack of direction. It looks like it looks like you've exited time, and now they're drowning. They're going under. They're barely keeping it afloat. They weren't successful. They don't have any love in them, and they have to accept the things that they cannot change. You're omniscient. You are multi-talented, and you're very good at everything that you set your mind to. They really underestimated you. Soldier. You might be one of God's heavenly soldiers. They may have messed with the wrong one. Knight of Wands, passionate, sexy, wands, third-party enemies. They may be trying to reach out, but they're not able to. Like, this is the end of them reaching out. They cannot do that. This is a time of peace. You're a being of love, and you're releasing all of that negative energy. These people, their destination is prison. Their destination is prison. Scholar, merchant. The merchant buys and sells things. The Hierophant is here regarding responsible people that take care of their finances, to take care of their emotional needs. These are diamonds that are multifaceted with skills that they have learned throughout this process. They're very constant in what they do in their house, with their house. They're not out here pretending or playing a role. They're regarding their purpose, they're starting to remember what it is they're here to do. Wedding. There's a wedding. Regardless of what these ones put you through, it looks like the Most High is choosing a partner for you. You're leaving time. You're going into a new world and into the Father's house, and He's arranging some marriage for you. Isn't that something? Or it probably, your star or your sun, it's power couple. It's like, it's a compliment, like yin and yang. I mean, I don't know. Take it as it resonates. We got death, end of a cycle. Somebody's overwhelmed and stressed out because they have lost. They feel like they've been abandoned. Maybe they've lost patience. They've been abandoned because the divine has lost patience. They're arrogant and haughty regarding your fortune. Yeah, they're having a real bad attitude about your fortune. They lost it. And they feel like they've been abandoned. Now, I had a dream not too long ago, where it was like there was like an ambush of a whole group of people like this. Somebody led me into a space, and then there was a whole lot of people there that were going to try to take me out, and they had accused me of abandoning them, and they wanted my fortune, whatever that was, energy, I'm guessing. And yeah, they were going to beat me up. Anyway, you're faithful. You're faithful, and these people are sick and despair. Your foe, sick and in despair, because you are faithful and true. And you're seen to be as such. There was a young woman, a false young woman here, that's got a big surprise coming up out of the water. Sick over a service, and then this journey. They may be making a journey, so they're sick. They may be making a journey in the indigenous culture that is transitioning into the spiritual realm. There is an old woman. She's got thoughts in her mind, or maybe she's thinking of the Lord, or maybe the Lord is in this old woman's mind. He's dealing with her. Oh, bringing misfortune. Why? Because they had caused misfortune for the hope of a sweetheart. The message last night was they traumatized her. They traumatized her. This wife of the Lord. Wife of the Lord, man. You're in trouble. So we're getting the message. There's a message being received that people are happy about. It's regarding the love of this reunion. Oh, there is love. Love. Love is a wonderful thing. This servant needs consolation, because you are consistent in your house. There's no acting. It is what it is, north, south, east, west. Keep the tire, full of air. Make sure it's round and balanced. So there's a priest here. What, did the priest celebrate too soon? Or is there a priest that's celebrating, that's happy because an enemy thief is in melancholy? Over a gift? I don't know. Take that as it resonates. Maybe there's a good priest out there. But we got pleasure seekers who are in sorrow. Anyhow, I hope this clarifies something you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.